Hello everyone, welcome back to The Climb Is Mine. I'm Charolina. This podcast is my accountability, a space where I share my wins, losses, and lessons as I grow stronger in my mind, body, and soul. I wanted to talk about how beautiful it is when you see the sprouts of your seeds, of what we plant grows. And I spoke a few episodes ago about ego and being so impatient and wanting to see our results or being in control. And I had mentioned I was having a difficult time of the uncertainty of the unknown, of having other people be in control of our circumstances, like income-wise. Right now I'm working for somebody. I'm working for an amazing restaurant company, but my life is in their hands. Like I want to work as much as I can. I want permanent days. I don't want to have to worry about if I have less days one week or the other. And I've always worked in places where I've always had that consistency, that I've had my set days and I've never had any issues. This place is brand new. We all started together. I know that they're figuring things out, so forth. But the uncertainty of not having or not being in control has been challenging for me. And it's just funny how God is just so good, and how being patient and honestly believing in the work that I've put in, it just shows that it really, really works. I'll give you an example. So I get my schedule every week, and for this week I was on call 2 days, Thursday and Friday. And in my head, because then obviously those aren't like 2 set days, but anyways, in my head I'm thinking, well, why am I not working, especially on a Friday night? And I looked at who was working, and I'm like, I know that I'm better than these people because I've worked my tail off in regards to, I show up on time. Anything that they need, I've been working hard, studying everything on the menu, all the products, the wines, everything. I put in the work. And so whatever, in my mind, I was, it was going there into that negativity. And then I was like, I'm not going to be making money. Why don't I get these shifts? My head's already thinking like I should get another job. If they're not going to give me, then I should, do half and half. Crazy. So I realized how my thinking process was. So I took a step back, and that tension and that build, you can just feel it on your chest. It's not a good feeling. So I'm like, this is not how I'm supposed to be thinking or living. I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I know that I have favor and everything is going to work itself out like it always has. I'm like, Charolina, I'm like, just be patient. Next week will be different. It doesn't matter if this week is like this. And also not thinking in that lack mentality, like that mindset. And so I've been listening to tons of podcasts in regarding to letting go. And because the more we chase things, the more it goes away from us. It's like if we're, when if we have a dog and we ask the dog to come, and then we start chasing it, what does the dog do? It runs further. So same thing, principle in life. Like if I keep chasing, like, oh, I want this, or like obviously, like I want to be abundantly free, and I want more money, need more money to pay my bills, but that's like a lack mentality because I'm needing. So I was really, really pushing myself back in acting as if I already have what I want and not putting pressure on the situation. And during the week, like, I was going to talk to my manager because, you know, last week they were very happy with me, with my performance. And even the owner came up and they're like, you're doing so well, the chef and everything, how well I was doing and how much they appreciate that I'm there and how much I've grown. And I'm like, okay, they're saying all these things, but then I'm not scheduled on a Friday night. So I was going to talk to the manager, and then I had 2 opportunities to question all this that was going on, and I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, I'm just going to step back because that's not what I feel that I need to be doing, because I'm pushing the situation. And as I said, like, I've just been really focusing this week on stepping back and acting really like I have it all, because the things that we want, we don't get them through the words, it's through our actions. So if I want abundance and I want to have financial freedom and I don't want to feel pressure, I got to act as if I have it, because that's what the universe responds to, and that's what's going to come back to me. So if I'm stressing out all the time, that's what I'm going to keep getting, more stress. And as I said, the universe, God, what we do, it reacts from our actions, not from what we say. So as I said, I've just been all week really taking that step back, and I really was tested, especially when I had the circumstances. Even last night, I was completely alone with my manager. I was closing, and I was going to be like, oh, so how do you determine who works on the weekends? You know, because I know that I'm one of their strongest servers there. So funny thing, I ended up getting called in yesterday, which I was on call, and then I came in, and then funny, today today's Friday, I got a phone call, and they had other people that were actually on schedule, and they text me, they're like, can you come into work? So I called my MOD, and I was like, what's going on? I'm like, you already have enough people. And she was like, no, she's like, the owner saw who was on the floor and they didn't see you, and so I cut a different person so that you could come in. Are you wanting to come in? I'm like, of course. Proof. And I was like, oh my gosh, just from yesterday and today, I mean, that doesn't happen. Look at the favor that I got, you know, for the owner to even have me come in and for that shift to open. That is just proof, and it's synchronicities, and it's God just showing his hand that everything always works out for me. It really, really does. And that I continue. And I was just thinking, man, all week I've just been controlling and putting that fight and putting myself at that task, you know, and I could feel my chest get up, and I'm doing breathing processes, and I'm being reminded of how everything always works out for me, and God has my hand, and I know that I've put in the work, and everything is going to work out. And this may seem like something super simple if you're listening to this, and it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal, because the universe and everything works itself around of how we're feeling, and doors open, and everything works out in your favor. And I honestly believe it, and just because of the faith that I believe and how much faith I have, I know that it will continue to happen, because that's what I believe. And when you believe something so strong, it doesn't matter what it is, it always works out for you. And, you know, it's just beautiful to see, because I know that I have been putting in the work. And as I said, especially this week was really tough, but I've been really learning to trust, and more than anything, to acting upon that everything that I have, it's there. I already have it. I am the millionaire. I am the successful woman. I am having my success in my personal development business. I am financially free. I am taking care of my family. You know, I'm acting upon it. And everything, the way that I walk, the way that I talk, the way that I do things, and I got to continually do it, and I will continue to do it. So I hope that this example just shows you that putting in the work and trusting in the process, it works. And these are just little things that give me more motivation to keep pushing and pressing. So yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. I'm driving to work right now with a shift that I didn't have, but it's just funny how things just evolve. It's beautiful. This journey is so beautiful. So this is just a huge win, and how just being patient, not allowing the ego to come in, trusting in God, and acting as if all these things, all these components really, really, really work. And it doesn't come easy. Tons of practice. You know, I'm practicing every day. And those days are hard when everything seems to crumble, when you look at your bank account, when you see your circumstances and there's no proof for it. But you just keep making that reality in your body, in your mind, in your actions, in your feeling, and try to work as hard as making it transpire through our actions. As I said, we could just say a bunch of stuff. I am a millionaire, I'm abundant. But then part of us, and I struggle with it because I could say these things at time, and then I'm looking out and I'm like, this is crazy, because I don't feel any of this, because I'm not seeing it on the, you know, three-dimensional world. You know, focus on what's on the outside. And in reality, we need to focus what's on the inside. So thank you for listening. Remember that growth takes work, but it's worth it. Keep strengthening the mind, body, and soul, and just keep pushing and pressing, and act as if. And it's something that I'm working on every single day, and it doesn't come easy. So act as if you have everything, and everything will come towards you. Don't chase what you want, because it's going to go further away. Just be in non-resistance and let it all come to you. Let it all come to you. I hope this message inspired you. Please share and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.